It's no secret. It's plain to see. And I love you. And you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. And I love you. The only time we seem to meet is in the middle of the night. Only then can I feel your heartbeat. Till something's not right. Together I see you and me, always and all time. But not everyone would agree. To them it's a crime. It's no secret. It's plain to see. Yes, I love you. And you love me. And it's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. Yes, I love you. Each day I think of you, looking for some sign that you feel the same way too. And I know you're mine. We can't use no telephone, but others can hear. And all I get is a dial tone, but the message is clear. It's no secret, and it's plain to see. Yes, I love you. I know you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. Yeah, I love you. Yes, I do.
Welcome, one and all, to the Friday, January, yeah, long day, folks, to the Friday, June 3rd edition of the Signals from Mars live stream. The pre-show, that is, on Fireside. Hope you guys are doing well. I see Johan in the chat already. Hope you're having a great day up there in Sweden. And yeah. So let me pull up. We've got Metal Dan on Twitch. Metal Dan, hope you're doing well. I see the chat on YouTube. All right, I've got everything loaded up here. So if you don't have the Fireside app, you can chat with me via, I've got Twitch over here, I've got YouTube here, and I've got Facebook here. So chat with me on any of these, and I'll discuss, what you guys bring up. So I get the camera centered right. It just keeps sliding down. Yeah, one of those things that I don't like about Fireside is that you can't kind of change the background. So instead of, there's really no way of prepping for this either. If there's a desktop version, you've got a steady camera. But with this, you got to use your cell phone and so on and so forth. It is what it is, I guess. Anyway, let's talk some new releases here. I featured the new album by Crobot this week, their fourth album called Feel This. It's really good. They've been a band that I really liked their first album, and after that, it's been kind of hit and miss for me. There have been songs here and there that I enjoy. But this new album, Feel This, has a lot of really cool stuff on it. So if you've never listened to them before, it's definitely, I think it'll be worth your while. This will be a great jump on point for the band. Check them out. The album's strong beginning to end. Again, I keep saying this. It could be nothing. It could just be me. But did the pandemic have something to do with this? Is it the fact that they were able to spend more time and work on the material, work in the studio on the album? Did that help them put out a much better album than what they would have otherwise? Because let's be honest, bands are usually touring, recording, touring, recording, touring, recording. They haven't had the opportunity to take time to record something and go back out there. Usually it's because they can't afford not to go out and tour. So I don't know, does the pandemic change all that for people? I'm not exactly sure. Gotta love it. Choking on the air. Anyway, a lot of other new releases. Gwar released their new album, The Dark Ages. Memphis May Fire. Drive-By Truckers. Bleed From Within. Red-Handed Denial. Battlelore. Thornhill. Origin, The Cruel Intentions. Valley Heart. Temple of Void. Orphan Twin. Damp. Artificial Brain. Shenandoah Electric Company. Hypermass. And EPs from Wayward Sons. Witchfinder. ASG. Future Palace. And the Oklahoma Kid. Reissues from Candlemass. Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, the 35th anniversary deluxe edition. And Killswitch Engage released their new live album, Live at the Palladium. So a lot of cool stuff to check out this week. I personally checked out the Crobot Bleed From Within, which has some pretty cool stuff on it. And I checked out ASG. So there you go. Don't be a lazy listener. Check out some new music. Find some new music that's worth listening to. Listen, you don't have to replace your favorites. Just add something additional that goes along with it. No one is saying, oh, this has to be your favorite album of all time. No. Just have to find some things that entertain you, that you enjoy. So I've never thought that whole argument of, well, it's not as good as, as good as this. It's not as good as Destroyer, man. Destroyer was 40 years ago, dude. You're telling me they haven't released anything since then worthwhile? Everything has been crap since then? You know, it's just one of these things. But anyway, exasperating. So I offer up a lot of different things for you guys to listen to new music, whether that's Spotify playlist, Apple playlist, Apple Music playlist, which is up to date. The Spotify one has to be updated. There's also, I mean, I include videos on the website. Plus, you know, we've got Johan in the chat. Johan is one of my patrons who knows about all the great video content that I post. And not only do I post about all this great musical content, but yeah, we discuss it within the Patreon group. And you can join for as little as $2 a month. So I know that people are probably sick and tired of hearing me say that, but it is 100% true. You can join us there. And for some reason, instead of muting my iPad, it's connected to my laptop. All right. So, been listening to a lot of different podcasts lately. A lot of music-related podcasts, a lot of basketball-related podcasts, a lot of news-related podcasts. I've been going out for walks. Too many walks, probably. Walked about 10 miles yesterday. Listened to a lot of cool stuff. And completely burnt. But it is what it is. Worked on websites all day today. Loads of fun. Anyway. Let's see. I want to try to hold back on the music news talk because again, that's something that I want to reserve exclusively for the patrons. But anyway, we've got Johan in the chat. I don't know if Johan wants to come up and talk or not, but we're going to invite him. Let's see what happens. Invite to speak. Let's see what is on Johan's mind tonight. Johan, how are you?
Hello, Victor. Can you hear me?
Hello, Johan. Yep,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, nothing much. It's another Friday night in front of you.
Cool. Another Friday night, but another Friday night is another night to talk about music that we love. Hard rock and metal music.
Yes, of course.
Anything special that you've been listening to this week?
To be honest, it's to me it has been a lot of politics. We have election in September, so we do a lot of campaigning. But that is not what we're going to talk about. I listen to a lot of bands from the Sweden Rock playlist. So on Wednesday next week, we are going to Sweden Rock.
Invited Brad up to speak, and he's got music going. He's gonna get me kicked off of here.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: what music do you usually listen to while you're campaigning? Are there any bands that you like to listen to that inspire you on the campaign trail?
Actually, that's a good question. I found one song from the new Crash Diet album that quite inspired me. The third one on the new CD, I can't remember the name, but the third one,
okay.
A good campaign song. So, but during the campaigns, we don't listen to music. We talk.
Do you guys have in America, the politicians tend to have a song for their campaign. Do you guys do the same thing in Sweden where you have songs for the campaign? And if you don't, if you're able to pick a song to represent your campaign, would it be that Crash Diet song or would it be something else?
Yeah, if I could choose. But my party, the politics that I represent, are not necessarily rock fans, perhaps. So I'm a bit of a, not a loner, but I'm quite unique, I think, for being a hard rock and heavy metal fan in my
Right.
in my campaign. But yeah, so no, the music I listen to now the most is to pep things up for the festival next week.
Okay.
So today I listened to a lot of Merciful Fate, if you are familiar with that band.
Yes.
And
yeah, I actually interviewed a member of Merciful Fate last year.
Which one?
Actually, their new bass player, Joey Vera of Armored Saint. Kind of cheating there, but yes, he's the new bass player in the band, and there have been pictures going around of them playing their first show, and I think it's 23 years, and it's a picture of King Diamond and him, and they debuted a new song from what I read as well.
So if I meet him, can I say hi from Victor Ruiz, Mars Attacks? Yeah?
Yeah.
Will he remember you? Probably.
He said the last time that I interviewed him, because I was joking around with him and said, every time that I interview you, you always say, great conversation. I enjoyed speaking to you. And I told him, you say that to me every time. So I said, I've interviewed you 5 or 6 times over the years. So is that what you say to everybody, or do you truly feel that way when you're done speaking to me? And he started laughing and he says, look, I don't remember saying that. He goes, but I do remember the name of your show. And he said, every time that the name of your show is on the list for people to talk to, he says, I remember the name of the show, but I don't remember what we spoke about. And I said, I understand that, because when they do interviews, they're speaking to 30 people a day. Maybe not 30, but 10 to 15 people. I mean, it's imagine throughout the time that you're campaigning, it would be impossible for you to remember everyone that's asked you a question. I mean, there are certain people that obviously you're going to remember because of what they've said to you or what questions or whatever. But to remember everyone is absolutely impossible. And also, through the interviews that I've done with both him and John Bush, they've both admitted to partying a lot in the 80s. So they've both admitted to me that sometimes they don't remember as much as they would like, but it's because of what they did when they were young. So.
Yeah, we'll see. But at Sweden Rock, a lot of the stars, they walk around.
Yeah.
On the site, so they go out and speak to people. So I will try to find him.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who are you looking forward to seeing most? Merciful Fate and who else?
Yeah, I haven't seen Nightwish since 2004, so that's going to be fun. And then there's a lot of good. The biggest bands are not the best. Okay, of course, Guns N' Roses, but looking at the list now, Dropkick Murphys.
Okay,
good to see them again. Opeth, Saxon, Hardcore Superstar, Sodom, Social Distortion. I haven't seen them before. Going to be fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Eclipse, good. Haven't seen them. There's a lot of bands that I have seen before on this on the list. Yeah, but it's been 3 years since we were at Sweden Rocks the last time, so I think everybody is looking forward to see every band. It's going to be feels like it's going to be a really happy and fun night. Nights.
A lot of people are going to be let out of their cages.
That's exactly how. Yeah, that's exactly how we feel.
Yeah, it's going to be like the dog that's getting let out of the cage after being home all day. Everyone that's been, like you said, 3 years since the last Sweden Rock, so people are going to be really looking forward to seeing a lot of these bands. I actually had a friend send me a message the other day saying I have to see if it's June 17th or July 17th. I don't even know. But he says, on the 17th, Life of Agony. We've never seen them. We have to go see them. And I saw that the same day Social Distortion is playing as well. And I said, both them and Social Distortion. And I forget there's a third band that I'd like to see as well. My biggest problem is that at this point in time, I have my two sons who want to see a concert very badly, and of course, to see a festival may be too long for them, and also it's very expensive for 4 people to go. We wanted to go see Kiss, who's playing July 2nd in Barcelona, so less than a month. But, you have to drive there, 5 hours to get there, gas, tolls, and then hotel, and then the tickets. So all in all, it's probably like 500, 600 euros just to see Kiss. There's a lot of other good bands playing, but again, Kiss probably isn't going to play until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I don't know that a 9 and 10-year-old are going to be awake at that time. So we've also got Metallica. No, my kid, actually, my oldest son, if you don't tell him to go to sleep, he could easily stay up to like 1 or 2, and he's only 10. You have to be on him.
It's the dad that's tired. Yeah, it's the dad that's tired.
Yeah. Well, the dad is tired from walking 16 kilometers yesterday, so he's still tired
that's
today.
Good tired. Yeah.
Yeah. But we also have Metallica playing the same day, July 2nd, but they're only playing 40 minutes away. The tickets cost twice as much, and out of 5 bands, they're the only band that I even want to see. Like the rest of them are indie rock bands, which maybe one of them would surprise me, but I don't know that I would sit out 12 hours waiting for Metallica seeing these other bands. So we'll see. Johan, have your kids gone to any shows with you?
Yeah, I was with my older son to Alice Cooper.
Okay.
Just before the COVID started, so
right.
In late 19, yeah, okay. November 19 in Gothenburg, yeah.
And he was into Alice Cooper before that, or you just wanted him to go along to see Alice Cooper? How did that happen?
He was, both. That was not his favorite act to see, but he knew some songs and he really liked it. And he got the pick from Niklas Strauss. So after the show, he really liked it. Yeah.
That's funny.
And that was good show.
Yeah, wow. Well, just to tie into Alice Cooper, yesterday, I'm listening to my 9-year-old. He's recently been listening to Limp Bizkit nonstop. And then yesterday I'm like, that's not Limp Bizkit. I get close to the door of the room, and I'm like, he's listening to, I think that's Hey Stupid by Alice Cooper.
Yes.
And I opened the door and I said, are you listening to Hey Stupid by Alice Cooper? He said, yeah, it was one of the suggestions. I'm like, oh, okay. So what made you listen to this as opposed to another suggestion? Well, it's got stupid in the name. I'm like, okay. So he's at that age where anything that remotely sounds like a bad word automatically piques his interest. So he's been listening to Alice Cooper the last 2 days. So that kind of ties into your Alice Cooper story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Brad, how are things out in Utah?
Doing well. I'm actually in my car right now. How does it sound?
It sounds all right. Before you had the music on, I had to mute you.
Yeah, no, good job on that. Yeah, it's weird because as soon as you punched me in, it started playing music. And I'm like, what the?
Yeah,
and then it took me a while to figure out how to shut it off. So,
I was thinking you were trying to promote Yarg Metal.
yeah, no, just trying to promote you, man.
There you go.
So, hey, Johan, how you doing? You at Sweden Rock next weekend? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah. Going on
All right.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday.
In
How many
RV.
days is it?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, 4 days. So you got an RV.
Yeah. We
Wow, you'll be
rented an
living there.
RV. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
Well,
You know
I
what,
hope your RV
Sweden Rock.
experience-
Yeah, you know at Sweden
better
Rock you
than
can't. There's no hotels.
Okay.
So
do the promoters rent the RVs, or you have to get that on your own?
on your own.
Okay.
So,
there's
so if I-
what are the options? The RV or camping? I'm assuming.
RV. What do you call not the RV and not a tent, but what do you call it when you connect a house to your car? What's the English name? A trailer.
A trailer. Okay.
So the most people live in trailers.
So Johan, if I come next year, you got room for me in the RV?
If you come next year, we will get something better. You can.
Oh,
you
okay.
see, Sweden Rock
I'll
is
chip in.
Yeah, because Sweden Rock is in an area where there is a lot of, if I translate it, cottages. You know, where people have vacation homes, and there's a lot of them. So you can rent one of these. But we had one for 2 years, and we lost this one. We lost the cottage this year. So we're hoping to get it back again. And if we get it, you are most welcome, Brad, to come with us. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Johan.
Yeah.
Well, Metal Dan is saying, I have the 9-year-old Psycho Stick not safe for work. Yeah, this Psycho Stick, I've tried to. I think we can't post anything on Patreon from them anymore, because I posted, I think, 4 or 5 videos from them, even from the previous name that the band had, and people just were not into them. That's the band from the former drummer of Five Finger Death Punch, and he's actually taken a bunch of the music down from the first 2 albums, I believe, just because a lot of the stuff isn't really politically correct. So before he got canceled, he canceled himself, basically. But yeah, so I don't know that honestly, I don't know how he started listening to the Limp Bizkit. I'm sure he probably heard a song come up at some point in time of me playing them in some sort of a mix, and that's probably how. But unfortunately, when he likes something, he'll listen to the same song 900 times. There's a reason why Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and AIR by Anthrax have a count of like 800 plays. He'll just take a song and listen to that song over and over again for months, to the point where you don't want to listen to it anymore. So, anyway, Brad, would you trade M3 for Sweden Rock?
No, I do both.
You do both.
I'm gonna, yeah. I'll do both.
Let's say Shelly says to you, you know what, Brad? One or the other.
I don't know. I don't know if I can get Shelly to go to Sweden Rock. What do you think? She's sitting right here. She's being shy, though.
Yeah, I'd go.
Oh, Shelly says she'll go. Sweden Rock. There
wow,
you go.
There you go. So let me ask you this. If you had your choice to go to any festival, which one would it be?
Wow. Part of me wants to go to Wacken.
Okay.
I don't know that I could hang with that, that situation. I got to be able to sit down.
A lot of these festivals in Europe, I mean, I don't know Wacken, but at least the ones here that I've been to in Spain all have VIP seating. It's off to the side of the fields. And for example, when I saw Metallica, when they did the 25th anniversary of the Black Album, they did the whole like snake pit thing in the middle. And then off to the side, it was all the VIP seating on both sides. And it was like stadium seating. You're obviously not up against the stage, but you get to sit there, and also some of the other acts do pop in and out. So it's more likely that you meet people at, within the VIP sections. But yeah, so it depends the festival, I'm assuming. Wacken is a beast all onto itself. It's the biggest hard rock metal festival in the world, but it's capped off as well. It could be a lot bigger than what it is, but they decided many years ago that they wanted to cap it off at, I believe it's 30,000 people, just because. No, what is it?
Now I think it's at least a double.
Okay. Because I know for a time there, they mentioned that they wanted to control the amount of people, because at first there was no limit. So then they'd end up spending an entire year fixing the grounds, and they weren't able to do any upgrades or anything like that. So they decided to cap things off so that once the festival is over, they would then have enough. They would have enough manpower to pick up everything, get the field ready, add additional things. For example, I think it was maybe around 10 years ago, they put in plumbing, I guess, is the best way of saying it. I don't know. They essentially put pipes in throughout the field, so that regardless where you were on the grounds, you could have tap beer. We all know how important beer is to the Germans. So, they set up all these huts basically all over the field where you could get beer at any point in time. You wouldn't have to go to designated bar areas that are way out of the the concert area. So as the show's going on, within a reasonable walking distance, you could get beer. So things like that. is what they've innovated and improved upon. But for Sweden Rock, how many people can see that?
I think there are about 40,000,
Okay,
including the 1 day tickets.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
For you, Johan, if you could have your choice of any,
Is there any
Yeah,
seating?
yeah, yeah. They the last, I think, 2 years they made a seating area. Yeah, Victor. If I could choose a festival in Europe, Hellfest.
Hellfest. Okay.
Yeah.
This year you would have to go on vacation to go to Hellfest.
Yeah, I know. No, but Hellfest always has a really interesting lineup between
Yeah.
everything from
Well,
punk to classic metal. So Hellfest
yeah.
would be my choice.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the festival season here too is that obviously Wacken, Hellfest, Sweden Rock, Download, those are probably the biggest ones in Europe. But then you have like smaller festivals. There are a few smaller ones here in Europe, and depending who's going to the bigger ones, you can see them at some of the other smaller festivals as well. So that's kind of neat. Sometimes you don't have to travel far to see a bunch of bands that you really like put together. I know that Barcelona Fest with Kiss that I mentioned has Judas Priest playing, has Saxon, has, I believe, Trivium as well. So there's a lot of different big bands that are playing that are also on these other festival bills. It's funny because I would tell people in the States, I specifically remember speaking to someone who was telling me how, Metallica's washed up. They're only playing festival dates in Europe. And I told them, I said, right, because they're making millions upon millions of dollars just playing these, one festival date a week, basically, or two or three, because they don't have to haul trucks around. They just show up, they play, they have a specific set of things. They don't have to take the stage with them, so on and so forth. And they fly in, they fly out, and that's it. They get paid a lot for doing that stuff. And a lot of these bands, that's why when bands say, this is it, I don't believe most of them, because the allure of coming back and playing a Sweden Rock or a Wacken or a Download or a Hellfest is there, where you could potentially play these 4 festivals and make more money than if you toured the U.S. for half a year. So that's why bands should never say, this is it. We're retiring, because money makes a lot of people, come out of retirement when they realize that, fueling 10 Ferraris and heating pools and having the air conditioning on in your house costs, I don't know how much. All of a sudden, coming out of retirement makes sense. So, is there any band, any big Swedish band who's gone away like that that's come back?
Say that question again, Victor, so I can understand it.
Sure.
How do you mean it?
Is there any Swedish, outside of ABBA? I know ABBA went away and we never thought they were coming back, but has there ever been a hard rock or metal band from Sweden that said they were never playing again and then decided to get back together and play again?
Perhaps Europe, when they made a big comeback at Sweden Rock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Around 2003 or 4 or 5, I can't remember which year, but it was that was good, really, really good.
Yeah.
And since then, Europe play Sweden Rock, every second, every third year. and they always put on a good show. Europe is a good band, even if they don't play a single song from the Final Countdown LP. That's a good band
Right.
and a good live act. Yeah. So I would say
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense because
yeah.
they went away after, what's the name of the album? Prisoner in Paradise was the name
Yeah.
of that last album in the 90s. And then, like you said, they came back 6 or 7 years later.
Yeah, I can't remember which year, but it was a big thing.
Yeah. It was right when I moved to Europe, when Europe put out that album. And I came over in late '03, and I think that following summer, maybe 2004, what is it? Not Shot in the Dark. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I know what album you mean. Yeah.
Shot from the Dark, maybe was the name of it.
Yeah.
It's not Shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but
Not the best Europe album, but yeah.
I actually once had a chance to see them live, but didn't. I've told this story many times. We were at a festival, my wife and I, and the last the last 5 bands of the night were Europe, Blind Guardian, Dio, Kiss, and Saxon. So we had the choice of either seeing Europe and Blind Guardian or waiting for Dio and Kiss to come out and being able to be close to the stage to see both. So we ended up seeing Europe and Blind Guardian on the video screen and waiting for Dio and Kiss. So, and then Saxon came on after. But yeah, it's the only time that I've been at a festival where Europe was at. There have been a few instances like that where we've had to choose. Where I don't understand why they have 2 bands playing at the same time. They should have. I mean, I would want to be able to see as many bands as possible. So I would think that it would make more sense to have one band play than another band play, as opposed to having a bunch of bands playing at the same time.
Yeah, that would be best. That would be the best. Yes, of course.
Yeah. In Sweden Rock, do they do that? Does each band play individually, or do they have different bands playing at the same time?
They have different bands playing at the same time, but they really, put the schedule so there are no big bands who play at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is, when Guns N' Roses play, there will be a kind of an indie band playing at the same time.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's how we do it.
That makes sense. So instead of having Guns N' Roses and, let's say, Kiss playing at the same time, one will play at one time and the other one at another time.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't happen. Sweden Rock isn't that big. I know Hellfest is that big. They probably have big bands playing at the same time. They should have.
Yeah, I think they might actually even have like 3 or 4 stages at Hellfest.
Yeah. It's hard to get tickets to sell to Hellfest. It's always sold out.
Right. Well, they sell the 2002 Hellfest won't be finished, and they'll sell all of the tickets to the 2023 Hellfest.
Yeah, same as Wacken.
Yeah, same thing.
Sweden Rock doesn't do that. They sell their tickets in November.
Okay. They allow people's wallets to recuperate
Yes.
before they start to sell them.
Yes, exactly, and that's a good thing.
Excellent. Brad, do you have any parting words for tonight?
No, it's just good to hear you guys, and yeah. What are you doing next? What's on after this?
Well, funny you should ask. For the Signals from Mars live stream, we're going to have Chris Czynszak of Decibel Geek podcast and the Rockin' Pod Expo on. We're going to be talking about the Rockin' Pod Retreat, which he's doing this year. The full-blown expo will be going on in April of next year. And in the meantime, he's put this retreat together, which will be geared towards podcasters wanting to learn how to basically up their game and listen to successful podcasters talk about different aspects of podcasting and things like that. And we'll be talking a little bit about that with him. And I'm sure we'll chat about music, about all types of music along the way. I'm not sure how long he's going to be able to hang out. He told me possibly 30 minutes, but we'll take it from there. We'll see where it all goes. So
Cool.
Should be fun.
Well, I'll be home in about 15 minutes, so I'll get a beverage and check it out because I really want to go to Rockin' Pod next year.
Cool. That's
Of
awesome.
course, it'd be a bigger sell for me if you were going to be there, but I understand the logistics for that.
Yeah. Well, if it were less than $3,000 for me to get there, you know.
I hear you.
If I were to win the lottery and money weren't an option, then then maybe. But you know, one of these things where you've got your kids begging you to go to the States for the first time. You can't exactly say, yeah, I'm going to Rockin' Pod, guys. I'll be back in 3 or 4 days while they're begging to go to the U.S. So
I hear you.
Anyway, Johan, any final words before we wrap the show up?
No, not really. Take care of each other, and it's really good to hear from you. Actually,
Absolutely.
From the heart, I really like to hear from you. So have a really pleasant weekend, and we talk soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to hear about Sweden Rock, Johan.
Yeah,
I want you to,
of course,
give us a report afterward.
In 2 weeks, we will have Johan's report for Sweden Rock.
You bet.
Awesome. I look forward to that.
Awesome. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you. I see Bob in the chat. I see Woody, who's here every week as well. There were a few other people that jumped in and out of Fireside. We had Metal Dan up on Twitch. And, he actually posted a bunch of other things. I just noticed this. He wrote, there's a guy on YouTube that does Sweden Rock each year, does good at showing what goes on. And I guess his handle on YouTube is the Swedish Lad. So we'll have to look out for that as well. But on that note, we're going to be ending the show. And please join me in a few minutes on the Signals from Mars live stream with Mr. Chris Czynszak of Decibel Geek and Rockin' Pod. And thanks everyone for joining us here on Fireside.